Depending on the type of hardwood floor you choose, fading can be a problem, or not necessarily a problem, but certainly an element when you actually buy a hardwood floor. Some hardwood floors are what's called photosensitive, which means that it's a fancy way of saying that they will change color according to light exposure. So there's a couple of things to take into consideration when you're buying a hardwood floor with the idea of fading and photosensitivity in mind. One, ask your seller, is the hardwood floor I'm choosing prone to changing color over time when exposed to the sun? That's an important question. Now, each hardwood floor has its charms depending on how much light actually has changed the color. It's still nice looking, but it's sometimes it can get darker. For instance, like a good example would be like a Brazilian cherry, for instance. When you get a Brazilian cherry, it's kind of a brownish color, but when it's exposed to a lot of direct sunlight, it kind of goes to a burgundy. And it looks great as the original brown color, but it looks great as the burgundy too. It depends on your aesthetics. So that's one major thing to take into consideration. Getting back to the original question, say you've got a rug or a mat or something like that, and you find that when you move the mat, it's discolored. Well, not discolored, but at least one part of your floors has changed color and another hasn't. One way to go is to move your mats around, and eventually the floors will even out in terms of color. But maybe even before you consider that, when you're actually buying a hardwood floor, think about the amount of light that the actual hardwood floor site is going to get. If it gets a lot, then you can expect a lot of color change. If it doesn't get so much, then maybe it's not so much of a problem. But these are all things to take into consideration when you're buying a hardwood floor with reference to photosensitivity and fading.